right, our weekly segment, 10 questions in 10 minutes. We've given ourselves a few extra seconds here, so a little extra room to breathe, but we still got to stay on time. So, Jimmy, what are our buzzer options?
I'm the leader of this organization.
Okay, Sam Kennedy getting his ass booed at FanFest.
Milliken's a moron.
There you go. That pretty much says it all.
I appreciate you, Thunder. I call him Young Thundercat.
Oh, my God. That was so cringy. Next.
I took a break. I went to Optum. I needed a break from Bill.
Ah, well said. Next.
Last one and my personal favorite.
I was right, damn it. Screw you, Bedard.
What was that from?
Joe Murray.
Obvious.
Joe Murray
Yeah,
the other day.
Zappy, Jones, quarterback
I will
competition.
Be right forever.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, that was it.
Go ahead, hit one.
I was right, damn it. Screw you, Bedard.
Number 10, what's preventing Buffalo from getting over the hump?
I want to say it's McDermott, and you can make a case for that. But for me, it's how the team's constructed. Offensively, they're a dome team playing in Buffalo, and defensively, they just play McDermott's scheme. They're built for that, and it's not good enough in today's NFL.
I want to say McDermott, too, and I will say McDermott. He's the problem. Lance him off.
The heavy weight of institutional failure. They're the Buffalo Bills, so something's always going to happen. The Al-Qaeda-loving coach, he has to go. And let's be honest, the quarterback, while incredibly talented, is kind of a dope.
Is the quarterback the problem, Greg?
Where was this?
Josh Allen?
Buffalo.
A little bit of a dope.
No, he's not the problem. He just needs better talent around him. He needs an offense that isn't just, oh, Josh, make a play out of your rear end all the time.
Next. Shoot another play out your ass. Milliken's a moron.
Is San Francisco vulnerable, or are the Packers a stronger team than they were given credit for?
San Francisco is always vulnerable if they can't play from ahead. To Mazz's point about the defensive line, they are built on getting a lead, their running game, getting into advantageous pass rushing situations, or else if they got to play it straight up, if the Lions come out there and they're physical and beat them up and take a lead early, it's going to go down to the end, and Kyle Shanahan is not good at the end of games. He's not.
If I were the Niners, I would give the quarterback some bananas, white rice bread, good starchy, thick products to bottle him up because he's going to crap his pants on Sunday otherwise. He's an accident waiting to happen. I'm telling you, remember, last year he got knocked out of the playoffs, and then did you see him in this past game, the bouncing throws to the side? He's terrified. He's going to cost him in addition to the defensive line.
I will say the Packers are better than we thought. Innovative playbook. Quarterback got better by the week. A lot of young talent around him on that side of the ball. Packers better.
How do you bottle someone up, Mez?
Oh, bananas, white rice, starch. Yeah, get them good and constipated.
White rice bottles you up?
Well, yeah. As far as I know.
That's the first I heard of
Dr.
that.
Mazz over
All
here.
right,
Yeah.
either way. Next.
I eat a lot of starch. Thick starch.
Next.
I appreciate you, Thunder. I call him Young Thundercat.
Number 8. Jared Goff or Brock Purdy?
Goff. He's taller, bigger, and he doesn't melt when it rains like Brock Purdy does.
Goff.
I hate both, but I'll go with Goff because the online discourse about Purdy is just way more annoying than anything else.
Why do you hate Goff?
Because I've been right about him since day one. He's a pants crapper, and he still has yet to do it, but he's come close so far in these 2 playoff games.
That doesn't sound like a reason to hate somebody.
It's sports hate. I don't hate him. If I saw him, I'd want to spit in his face.
Well, he's going to fight him.
Next. I told you sucked.
I took a break. I went to Optum. I needed a break from Bill.
All right, I ask this every time it comes up. Should the NFL change the rule that says a fumble through the end zone is a loss of possession and a touchback, as happened to Mecole Hardman and the Chiefs this week?
It is way too punitive. It's got to be changed. I'm with Big Jim. It's absurd that the guy can fumble out at the 1-yard line. They still have possession, can score a touchdown. But just because it goes into the end zone, they didn't recover it. All of a sudden they lose the ball. No, it should be previous spot, loss of down, 10 to 15 yards. That's what it should be.
I like it the way it is. Leave it alone. You fumble it out through the end zone, that's your problem.
I'm sorry. Loss of 10 to 15 yards? How are you coming up with that number?
Oh, so a loss of, I don't know, pick one. Whatever you want.
Well, wait,
10 yards.
Wait, hold on.
My penalty would be
So he's gonna
previous spot, loss of down, and 10 yards.
Okay, you're just totally pulling that out of your ass.
I'm giving you an alternative.
No, but
yeah, of course I'm
Yes,
pulling
from
it
your
out of my
ass.
rear end.
Well, no, but it's based on nothing to do with the rules of the game or the way the game is played. The ball goes through the end zone, it's a touchback. The ball goes over the end line, it's a touchdown or a touchback or a safety. The end line is treated differently in every is treated differently than the field of play in all those situations. Now you're just going to come with some sort of arbitrary thing?
Yes.
Yeah, the consequence does not meet the action. It doesn't
ridiculous.
match the action. So put it at the 25 and take away a down.
Of course it meets the action. It is also the best rule in sports because not everyone knows it. It separates the dumb teams from the smart teams. It represents and separates the smart, team-oriented player from the dumb, selfish player. I've talked about this a lot.
That's a separate argument. You're talking about under the rule. Yes, that's what it does. But should it be that way? That's a separate argument on whether the rules should continue the way they is. I say no.
Of course it should be. If you get tackled in the end zone, it's a safety. If the ball crosses the plane of the goal, it's a touchdown. If the ball rolls out through the back of the end zone, it's a touchback or a safety, given the situation. The end zone is treated differently in every situation, including that one. And it's perfectly consistent with the rules of American football. And the fact that it drives people crazy and dumbass players fall victim to it every single week is all the more reason to keep it.
In fact, Greg, you know what? You're so adamant about it. Not only do I think it should stay as it is, I think the quarterback should be ejected.
Why does the defense get rewarded like that for doing nothing? They didn't even recover the ball.
Right.
Yeah,
it went out of bounds. You want the ball, recover the ball.
It's the same reason why a touchback's a touchback or a safety's a safety.
Like intentional grounding.
Or a touchdown is a touchdown. It's the same reason. It's because when you get to those goal lines, the stakes are raised on both sides of the ball in every situation, as it should be. I love it. Every time it happens, I love it. Dumbass. Reach the ball over the goal line on first down.
Definitely shouldn't be a touchback. At the least, give the offense the ball at the 1 yard line.
That makes no sense.
Make them get the ball out.
It makes no sense.
Why are you rewarding the other team?
It's not. It's consistent
for doing
with
nothing.
The
they
rules
did nothing.
of American football. Next.
I was right, damn it. Screw you, Bedard.
Thoughts on how the Final Four teams have been built, Greg?
The two conferences are two different ways. The NFC, you have the teams that are built, build the team up first, figure out the quarterback later. And in the AFC, they are franchise, big money quarterbacks where they build everything around that quarterback. So I just find it very interesting and to see how this whole thing plays out.
Which would you rather be?
I want the team because you can win in different ways. What happens if your quarterback gets hurt? With the 49ers, it's not a big deal. We've seen what happens with the Ravens when Lamar Jackson goes down, or when Patrick Mahomes gets a foot injury that one year where they lost in the Super Bowl. So I like in a team sport, the ultimate team sport, I like the team concept.
Look, I like the team concept too. I think the other one wins though. So I think the winner's coming out of the AFC this year.
Yeah, I'm a QB elitist. 2 teams have quarterbacks worth a damn. 2 don't. Guess who I'm pulling for?
Next.
Milliken's a moron.
Tool bag question. Biggest tool bag from Divisional Weekend, please.
So this is very minor, but it just irritates me.
Good.
John Lynch on the sideline before the game's over in a divisional round game, congratulating guys, giving out big hugs. Like, just go stay in the box. Like, go win something, then you can get on the sideline and hug people. Like a Super Bowl, not a divisional game. I thought that was lame.
Mecole Hardman fumbled out of the end zone, fumbled early in the game on that side of the field, same play. And I thought Kansas City had the stupidest receiver in the league in Kadarius Toney. Turns out they have the top 2.
The Packers' weenie kicker. And
Thank you.
Jordan Love, the throw to end it was awful, but it all went to hell when that idiot missed that kick. All the momentum went to San Francisco. Purdy could have been blindfolded. They were going to find a way to win that game because the Packers blew it when that idiot missed that kick.
I was going to tie between the Packers' idiot kicker and the Bills' idiot kicker. You freaking tool bags. Gaggers. Next.
I took a break. I went to Optum. I needed a break from Bill.
All right, since the Patriots traded Jimmy Garoppolo in October 17, the list of quarterbacks they passed on in the draft, and this is, I'm going to go between Garoppolo and Mac Jones. They passed on Lamar Jackson, Mason Rudolph, Drew Lock, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts. I put a couple names in there just to fill out the list. But of those 5 guys, who should they regret most for passing on?
No question, Lamar Jackson. It's set up perfectly. You traded Garoppolo in the fall of 2017. Lamar Jackson was in the next draft, right there where you could have drafted him. He could have sat for a year or 2 behind Brady and then took over, and you could have had that going on. And they just completely blew it up. Why? Because Belichick was throwing a temper tantrum because Robert made him trade Garoppolo.
Lamar Jackson. He's not a pure pocket passer, obviously. Ran for 100 yards this past week. Can beat you in a lot of different ways. I go Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. And I think it would have worked, too, because McDaniels didn't just want him. He was enough of a project at that time that Brady didn't have to worry about him. It's Lamar Jackson.
A case to be made for Jalen Hurts. You didn't have to use a first-round pick on him, which, sort of like a line of
I appreciate
If you think Jalen Hurts is good.
sort of like a line of demarcation. I do think Jalen Hurts is good. Certainly good enough. Next, Jimmy, now.
I appreciate you, Thunder. I call him Young Thundercat.
The Detroit Lions have famously never won a Super Bowl or even been to one. The only other teams to have never even made the Super Bowl are the Jaguars, Texans, and Cleveland Browns. Are there any of those four who you hope never make it because you're just a bad person and you like bad things to happen to certain people?
Hope I would, if I had to pick one, it would be the Jaguars. Just because if the Jaguars win the Super Bowl, who's going to care? It's going to be the dumbest storyline like ever.
Jags, easily the Jags. Please, I think they should be kicked out of the league right now.
They're half in Europe.
In fact, I would kick them off of planet Earth.
Cleveland Browns. They're synonymous with misery, and it should remain that way. It's funny if they never get there and win.
Is it so? This is what I like, Murray. You like the shots of the Buffalo Bills fans crying. You must.
It's that night. Again, it's been a terrible season for the NFL, in my opinion. That night, it made it all right because it's everything I want. Wildly entertaining game. Two quarterbacks going toe-to-toe, and then just misery pouring up the wazoo at the end. Like, it's never going to happen in my lifetime. That's right, bum. It's never going to happen in your lifetime because you're in Western New York and you root for that team. It's just the best.
Next.
Wide right 2.0. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Milliken's a moron.
If you could pick, along these lines, if you could pick any one team to win any one championship, any league, any sport, who would you most want to see win the next one? This you can go to your be a fan. Like, who do you want to win the next championship in all sports?
I would like to see the Cleveland Guardians win. I've just had an affinity for the Indians / Guardians. I wish Tito was still there. It'd be even better if he was the one to do it, similar to like he did in Boston. But the Guardians would be my pick.
Minnesota Vikings.
Ugh.
They're always good. They're always good. They're never awful.
What do you think?
I
about
used to
that,
love the
Felger?
Vikings when I was a kid, too. I don't know why, but I did. I was into the Purple People Eaters, Chuck Foreman, the whole 9 yards.
The Boston Bruins. Prove to me that 2011 wasn't the one random fluke I'll see from these a-holes in my whole entire life. The Bruins. I need another one.
Bruins are up there for me. They're third. Hard to pick anyone over the Packers, but if I did, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. Can I have one World Series? Just one.
Sure.
I just I think that would be the team. Next, last one.
I was right, damn it. Screw you, Bedard.
Same question in reverse. What's the last team, any league, any sport you want to see win a title?
No question, the Yankees. Fun fact, I still haven't seen the Yankees celebrate that 2009 championship with A-Rod. I refuse to watch and to acknowledge it. So in my mind, it never happened.
Boston, fill in the blank.
Mazz.
You a-hole.
That's a joke. I was kidding. So I actually go with the Mets. I mean, see, the Mets just find ways to lose. They find ways to lose, and they deserve it, frankly.
The Buffalo Bills. You don't actually want to catch the rabbit, and I think the Boston Red Sox are proof of this. There's certain franchises in sports, you will lose all your fun, loser charm. You become another team. You become the most insufferable fan base on planet Earth. The Bills being losers is better for the sport. It's better for everyone, and it's the one thing we can still count on for continued comedy. The Bills don't ever want to win a championship. Trust me on that.
So I've told you that my one sporting goal, even more than I want the Brewers or the Packers or the Bucks or whatever, the Bruins to win a championship, I want Montreal not to win one. That's
Good
my
one.
lifelong goal. I don't know how much longer I have on the planet. Hopefully somewhere around
You might make it.
30. Can I go the rest of my life without a single Montreal Stanley Cup?
I'm
It's
the
in
same with
play.
the Yankees.
Yeah, that's in play. I think you'll get that.
I'm not worried about it anytime soon, but again, we got a long way to go. But that's the last team.